guys, how you doing? It's Henry at Mowers and Blowers. What's going on? It's Sunday, and I was just watching some IndyCar, and I was looking through Facebook Marketplace at the same time, as I always do, and I saw this listing of a Craftsman 523 Track Drive Snowblower. I know, why do I want a snowblower? I don't. I have 8 at home that nobody will buy, even for 50 bucks. Snowblowers are a thing of the past here in Long Island, New York, because we don't get any more snow, at least significant enough to whip out a dual-stage snowblower. As you guys know, I have the exact same snowblower. A little bit different model, but pretty much the same. I have it listed for $275 for the longest time, probably like a year. I had maybe one bite on it once, but then it flaked as usual, so I still have it. But I just can't get myself to say no, because it's A, close by, it's 10 minutes away. Guy's giving it away for free. On the listing, he says, worked last year, now it won't start, free, come get it. I'm like, it's a track drive, you don't see those every day, you know what I mean? It's kind of cool. So I'm sure it's just a carburetor clean or something silly like that. Really simple to fix. If I got to list it for $100, it's $100. Not to mention, it'll probably make for a good video. So I'm home now. There it is, 523 Craftsman, Craftsman 2. This is exactly the one that I have, except mine has like these plastic fairings around here. It's essentially the same thing. As you can see, track drive, and it does not roll. So we have to put it on this guy's dolly, and with his son's help, put it on the dolly and rolled it down his hill. And then we just manhandled it in there. A guy that gave it to me was a big dude. So he says in the listing that it fired up last year, doesn't fire up anymore, has electric start, don't know if it works or not. Kind of rusty. You can tell he left it outside. So it's probably, gas tank might have some water in it, which is why it probably won't start, or he didn't drain the gas out of it before he stored it for the winter and won't start up anymore. So it shouldn't be a tough fix. Thing though that is kind of tough is that these things typically do not roll forward or backwards without the engine running. So because the engine doesn't run, it's basically just a big heavy brick and you have to drag it. And it's difficult to remove the tracks and the wheel, smooth out usually it's the shaft, transmission shaft that sticks out that holds the wheels. It's all rusted, so it won't turn, So to get that fixed, you'd have to take the wheels off, the tracks off, sole bracket, and then grind off the rust off the thing, grease it, and then you'll be able to pull it forward and backwards. But we'll see what happens. I don't want to drag my ramps out to get this down. So my friend Andy from Jericho and my other friend Evan are coming by to fix a module on his e-bike, whatever. I'll wait until they come here for them to help me unload this. One, two, three. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh! Oh! There you go. That's perfect, guys. Oh, take your ammo. Yes. Tom comes over and he goes, okay, I come pick up my ammo. I'm like, oh, Annabeth took it. He's like, no, he didn't. You're just lying to me so you can keep it. And I go, I didn't take it. I didn't take his ammo. I have your ammo. Good friends. I have it on camera. See? This is a Craftsman 2 523 track drive snowblower, dual stage. I got it for free! Free! For free! That's right, free, as I always do. Why am I messing with snowblowers when they don't sell here in Long Island? It's a dual stage track drive snowblower. It was free. You gotta try to see if it runs. Maybe I'll sell it for $100 if I'm lucky. Anyway, as you guys probably know from these track drive snowblowers, after a while, the shaft on the transmission gets rusty and it fuses to the plastic wheels on the track. Therefore, while engaging the transmission, it does move forward and backwards through the engine. The engine doesn't run, you can't move this at all. It's like a brick. So that's a pain in the ass. You have to remove the wheels and the tracks, grind down the rust on the shaft of the transmission, grease it and put it back on, and then even though the engine doesn't run, you can roll it forward and backwards. Ask me how I know that. Well, I had a video showing you how to do that with my other track drive, which is almost identical to this one. Identical. Almost. Anyway, the guy I got it from, I got it off of Facebook Marketplace. He told me it ran last year, but obviously he left it outside. So we don't know if there's water in the gas tank, dirty carburetor due to the ethanol breaking down, and clogging the jets of your carburetor. Number one, we got to get it running. Once it runs, we could try to loosen the wheels on the shaft. But first, let's try to crank it. So I just checked. It's got a lot of gas in it. It's got oil in it. Choke is full. Throttle is fast. Priming it doesn't seem to be doing anything. I can't hear any air or anything like that. The carburetor is probably clogged, but does it pull freely? Sound normal? This does have electric start. So let's test it and see if the electric start works, and at the same time, see if it starts. Now, so you see what that is? That's just the starter motor moving, but the Bendix pinion gear is not shooting up to grasp the teeth of the flywheel. Sometimes just banging it will make it loosen up. Have it on. Well, we know the starter motor works, but we'd have to work on the pinion gear later, if it runs. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to remove the heater box. Why is it called a heater box? In the wintertime when it's cold, the muffler is pretty much touching the heater box, so the heat from the muffler will heat this box and keep the fuel and the carburetor relatively warm, or at least warmer than the outside exterior. Just a Phillips screw right here. You gotta rip off this knob. Take the key out. And then disconnect the kill switch. There we go. Open up the choke, blow some carb cleaner through the intake, through the carburetor into the intake. Close the choke. See if it at least turns over. There you go. So obviously this is probably not getting any gas. Let's just take the bowl off and see. It's a 1/2 inch nut on the bottom. Let's just remove the bowl and see if fuel flows freely. Okay, there is fuel coming down. Let me stop the fuel for a second. Here's the nut. Let's take the bowl down. Ooh, boogers. Look at that. Huge chunks of boogers. Ugh, gross. That's disgusting. So let's just see if there's any blockage in the fuel lines. We'll open up the fuel lines and it flows freely. And that fuel looks a little cloudy. Looks like it's just the bowl that's messed up, you know what I mean? Fuel does flow freely. The float seems good. I'm just going to blow some carb cleaner up the emulsion tube. Make sure it's clear. You can see it through there. As you can see the mouth. Mist is coming out. It's relatively clean. Just shoot crap upward. Here's the nut. See if it blows through on this hole. Look, you can see there's a booger right in there. See, right there. Blow down. See if it shoots out the front. Sure does. And there's a diagonal hole right there, really small. It goes down. Let's see if it's clear. See that little bit of stream coming upwards? That's the little hole. So this is clear. Got to get the boogers out of here. So that's pretty clean. As long as that stuff doesn't come off, it's clean. Has a good gasket on it. And look, this one has one of those push buttons on the bowl. Whereas if you wanted to drain the gas in the bowl, conveniently just push it. Gas from the bowl will come out. I just pushed that and sprayed, and some brown stuff came out. So hopefully that won't leak. We'll put this back on and just see if it runs on its own. Make sure you know which way the bowl is falling. The hinge is right there. So you have to match up this line with the hinge because that bowl comes down into this depressed area. The jet nut is clean, so we'll put that back in. Just screw it in. And then tighten it. Not too tight. It's a brass nut. That's good. Release the hounds. See if it leaks. So fuel is flowing, we choke it, high throttle, see if it starts and runs on its own. No leaks so far. What do you guys think? Think it'll run? This primer bulb doesn't seem to work. All right, whatever, let's pull it. you saw, we engaged the auger, but it didn't move. Not right away, till I kept on doing it back and forth, and eventually the belts that haven't been run in like a year or so start to grip onto the pulley while you're engaging it, and slowly moves it around. And then once it started to get some good grip, after it rubbed off the exterior stuff that has grown on it over the past year, it turned the impeller and the auger just fine, and I could feel the power once it started to grip. So once we got that belt cleaned off after rubbing, now the auger and the impeller works. This thing works too, however, while turning it, the screw came out and that thing popped out. So we're gonna have to put another bolt on there. Quick and dirty carburetor cleaner is what that was. So look, here's my thought process. The biggest job on this is to remove the two tracks, grind off the rust on the shaft. I've done it before, and it works. And the end result is that you're gonna be able to roll it backwards and forwards without the engine running. Right now, without the engine running, you can't move this thing around. It's too heavy. Being that this is gonna be like $100 item that I'm gonna list on Facebook Marketplace, because it is rusty. It's in good shape, okay shape. Is it worth it for me to go through all that trouble and work? Get $100 out of it? No, it's not. So I'm gonna just sell this as is for $100. Some nut will buy it. It's a track drive and it works now. So this dual stage snowblower can move forward and backwards, 6 gears forward, 2 gears reverse. Both the impeller and the auger work. When I put that bolt back in there, this thing will rotate as it's designed to. So this starts, drives, and blows. However, it does have electric start, which doesn't really work that well. So I should fix that. First, I'm gonna adjust the idle again. Damn, that is hot. So there's this thing I could bend down more, and it does surge a little bit, as you guys can hear. Just a little bit. Now that we got the idle fixed up, it's still surging a little bit. There's a little black cover right on the other side of the carburetor. I'm gonna pick that black thing out, open up the pilot jet, clean that out. That cover and pilot jet is right there. First, let me take care of this. Fixed. Jesus Christ. Spray in to where the joints are. Amazing. Got a pick. I'm gonna pick this black thing out. I know I can't show it to you because I've got two hands and the tripod doesn't zoom that in. There we go. See it? There we go. That's a pilot jet and it's clear. So surging probably is not going to be able to fix the surging because it's clear. See? blow in there. That's all you can do, short of replacing the carburetor. But do you think this piece of junk warrants a brand new carburetor? No. I'm just gonna try to get what I can for it. Because it was free, I don't want to spend too much time or money on it, because 100% of it will be profit if I sell it. I'll put this back on. So I put the box back. Let's just verify that it runs. Now we want to try to get the electric start to work. So basically this is the starter. It's got one bolt there, two on the bottom. What happens is when you energize this, a gear goes upwards, pops up like that, and then the Bendix gear connects with the teeth on the flywheel and spin it. What's happening is when you energize this, it's only spinning, it's not popping up to touch the teeth. So we'll remove this starter and kind of move it around, oil it and stuff. See if that works. Okay, here's a good view of the starter. It's just hanging on the wire connected to this thing, right? And actually, it's this way. You energize it, and this part with the gear goes down and grips the teeth over here. Watch. So it's supposed to go down like that. Because there's so much rust over here, this shaft is not moving, so it's rusted shut. So we'll just spray a little bit of penetrating oil. This is Deep Creep. Try to help it along by using this, a slotted screwdriver, and just push it down while it's doing that. Check it out. So I've been working it back and forth, banging it down, banging it that way, banging it down, banging it that way, and putting penetrating oil on it. As you can see now, it freely moves upward and downward. Just got to keep working this back and forth. So grind a little bit of rust in between the grooves. There are grooves here. And now when you press it, it should go back. This part should go back and pop out. All right, it pulls back, but it doesn't pop out. All right, I've been working this back and forth for like a half an hour. Spending a lot of time on this, but I wanted to show you guys how to do it. Look, there you go. That's how it's supposed to work. You energize it, it pulls back, the gear grips onto the teeth of the flywheel, starts the engine, pops back out again. Now we're going to reinstall this, and our electric start will work. This will start, run, blow, drive. That's it. I am not taking the tracks off. On the top bolt, there was like this plate bracket that also held the gas tank upwards. That was a pain in the ass to figure out how it got in there. Was it behind the plate, in front of the plate? You'll figure it out. Anyway, here we go. Of course, looking around, see that this is not attached to anything. Found a bolt. Hopefully it'll fit. It's usually 10 millimeter or 3/8. There we go. Fixed! So just for shits and giggles, I was messing with this by pulling it. Look at this. Of course, it's tough to push, but it's pretty good to pull. So it does move. I think it just needs a little bit of Earl. So while I'm not going to remove all the wheels, I think I'm going to try to oil the axles with penetrating oil. That's it. I am not taking the tracks off. So as you saw, it's actually easy to take the thing off, but this is not going to work because what happens is it's inside here that has to turn. And so I'm just going to oil this joint over here and that's it. So how about it, fellas? Picked this from a free Facebook marketplace posting, went to go get it. It was pretty simple. Did a quick and dirty on the carburetor. Didn't even have to remove it. Just had to clean the bowl, shoot the hose out, clean the pilot jet and stuff. Still surges a little bit, but short of replacing it with a brand new carburetor, it's gonna surge a little bit at full run. But if you put it one click below full run, it runs just fine. Adjusted the idler, even took off one of the tracks just to see what we could do about it. I didn't want to get all too involved in that because it's a big job to scrape off all the rust off the shafts. And being that this thing, I'm going to sell it as is for about $100. I'm not going to go through all that trouble to do that. I mean, I did oil it after I took that off, and it does move, just not so easily. That's going to be good enough. The starter didn't work because the Bendix gear wasn't pulling down to grip the teeth of the flywheel. We just oiled it, grinded off some of the rust in there, moved it back and forth for a bit, and now the electric start works perfectly. So like 5 years ago, this thing probably would have sold for $500. I know, I've sold a few of them for $500, $350 to $500. Now here in Long Island, it doesn't snow anymore, so nobody wants dual stage snowblowers. So you can see them on Facebook Marketplace for $50 to $100. Really nice big snowblowers. So if you guys are around the country in a northern area like Minnesota or Montana, Maine, upstate New York, where it still snows a lot, you want a snowblower? Come down to Long Island. You'll find a lot of snowblowers for like $100. Actually, you want a track drive? $100. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you learned something. If you did, like, share, and subscribe. It really helps out the algorithm so I can continue to bring you small engine content like this one. Have a great day, fellas. We'll see you guys next time on Mowers and Blowers. What do you guys think, huh? Pretty good? Much nicer, huh? Hit all my crap in there where the AC is, and now that's actually clean for the first time ever. Just buttoning up some loose ends on this tractor that I just finished. While I pulled this out, I noticed that the tires don't really hold air. And also there's a big oil stain where this was sitting. Kind of a significant leak. So I went to go check it out. You can see immediately there's quite a lot of oil on the muffler shield. And it's dripping down from here, the corner of this valve cover gasket. I think either I have to tighten this more or replace the gasket. I was buttoning up this tractor, wiped it down with some ATF. I was too lazy to go and wash it. Just blew it off with a brush and stuff and a blower. I had a dickens of a time adjusting the level of the deck because the deck came from another tractor. The settings were all off. And also, the belt was too long. The belt kept slipping off. It was almost like I revisited that time that I went to Robert from Holbrook's house and adjusted his deck. I was up and down, all around, on my ass, on my back, whatever, just trying to figure it out. And finally, I just said, to hell with it. I'm just going to go get another belt that was slightly 2 inches shorter than the other one. And so now it runs great. Mowed the lawn, it mows really well. I painted the rims black, tried to get the headlight bulbs to work, but they were very janky. I had to order some new bulbs because I had these two-prong bulbs, you know, for automotive high-low beams. That doesn't work with this. Put some ATF in some of these tires and then mow the lawn again. Seems to mow really well. The rebuilt engine is primo. I had to tighten the bolt on the valve cover because it had a couple of drips from the valve cover gasket. It was a decent gasket. It's just that one of the bolts was stripped, so I got another bolt and drove it in there. So now the valve cover should be tight on there. Shouldn't see any leaks, although I do see a puff of smoke here and there, but it could be just residual oil from the leak on the muffler. Anyway, I don't know where to park this thing anymore. I don't have anywhere else to park it. I've got like 10 tractors and I haven't sold any. Yes, even though I have my new divider panels that you guys saw previously in a review video or another video, I still don't have anywhere to park my tractors though. But the yard looks cleaner. Got rid of all that stuff and put it in there. I'll just leave that there for now. I just went through all these belts that I had collected over the years and just had to find one that was slightly shorter than the one that I had. And I had 3 of the exact same size. So it was about 2 inches shorter than the one I had. So Craftsman LT1000s, they have different sizes for their deck belts. I just was fortunate enough to have all three of them. That's right, the job is never done. The guy flaked on me, a guy wanted to see this, but never came. I don't care. Maybe I'll keep it. I gotta fix that seat though. Next time on Motors and Blowers!